Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Guna and our show, the Roaring Gunners from the City of Joy with Sauradeep from the Arsenal Bengal official supporters group. Hey bro, how are you?
And better, the way that we are trying to get the players, and it's been happening, I think, for the first time in my, in my life, supporting Arsenal, that we are so aggressive and it's so early in the transfer window. So yeah, so far good. Very happy with our approach at least.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation and we linked with a lot of players. It seems like the deal for the player from Porto Vieira has been done, but no official confirmation yet from the club. But it's looking like from everything we're reading that it's done and it's just a matter of announcing it. So, but before we go on to actual individual players, I just wanted to ask you first, in your opinion, where do you think we need to strengthen the team?
I think striker is imminent, that you can see that we are also being linked so long with Gabriel Jesus and others as striker, because striker is the utmost important thing for us at this very moment. And along with that, I think we need a left back, that's for sure, because Nuno Tavares isn't good enough, and Kieran Tierney is very injury prone, so injury prone, to be honest, I should say. And so we can't, we don't know what is coming from him, because he either he's playing 4 or 5 great games and then suddenly bam, he's injured and he's gone for 2 or 3 months. So we need a proper left back who can really replace Kieran Tierney, and along with that, a midfielder that is very necessary as well. So at least 4 signings, which is very important for us, because we have already covered the goalkeeping position. Turner is coming in. We know Leno is poised to leave the club, and he is quite certain to leave the club. So apart from that, one, maybe two strikers, one midfielder, and one left back, and then we have to fill the gaps if players then leaves us, because there are certain players who were on the fringes, were sent out on loan last season, and they are not good enough for Arsenal, and they should be offloaded. And so if then the players goes, then we may bring some more players in. But 4 players, 2 strikers, one midfielder, and one left back is absolutely necessary for us. And I think so far we have already signed one, because I think Fabio Vieira deal is done. So yeah, so far
Okay.
it's been good for us.
Okay, so before we get into the players we're looking to bring in, let's talk a little bit about some contract renewals. So news that came out today that Nketiah has signed his deal and he's also taking the number 14 shirt. It's quite a big deal, the amount of money we're offering him. I don't know if you feel he's justified having a contract like this or not. So what's your thoughts?
I think we have tied him down for 5 years. So if he really steps up this season, because we are going to be having a lot of games. We are going to be having the rest of Europa League and then all the Carabao Cups, and also he'll be getting opportunities. So if he steps up there and keeps on scoring the goals, then at least then we can at least sell him for a bigger price than we were selling him at the end of last season, maybe. So yeah, that's very important, because I know the wage is a bit high. Also, the number 14 shirt is a lot of legacy behind it. So there's a lot of weight on his shoulders, to be honest, at this moment. But if he continues to perform the way he did at the flag end of last season, then why not? Why not give it a try? Because at the worst, we can sell him at a better price if things don't go out. If these things don't go in the right direction in the coming 1 or 2 seasons. I think signing him down and tying him down for 5 years is not the worst thing that we have done. If he delivers and if he keeps performing well, then only his stock will go high. And so, if in the near future, if you're thinking about selling him, we can get a bigger price. So I don't see a lot of wrong in this, and I do. Sorry, I've seen that many supporters are dissing him. They're mocking him for the number 14 shirt, and I don't really like that, because that lad has performed. You have to give him credit, because he was on the bench for a long time. We were quite skeptical about him, but he came on and scored some crucial goals for us. Yeah, we didn't get the top four, but even to get to have that optimism that we're gonna get top four, you think he started it with those 2 goals against Chelsea, because before that we were down and out and we were all the things, and no, it's not gonna happen. So he deserves some credit. I don't know whether he deserves humongous contract and the number, because but if the club has given him, if the manager has decided to give him that, let's support the kid and let's let's believe that everything gonna pan out well. So yeah, I'm quite content with that.
Okay, so for me, I think the key thing is he's still young, so there is room for improvement. At the level he's playing at the moment, I don't think he's good enough at the moment, but hopefully he will improve. As I said, he's young, so there's that room for improvement with him. I think it is a lot of money though. The shirt number, okay, that's fine. No issue with that for me. We've got to support him, but yeah, a lot of money. So it's the way football is, I guess. At the moment, there's a lot of money going about. Players' contracts are bigger than ever these days. A lot of huge transfer fees being paid. We've seen it in recent times, just with Liverpool paying 85 million for a striker. That's not very well known, but they paid the money, and I guess that's how the market is at the moment. So yeah, as you said, it's a good thing we've tied him down to a long-term deal. So now, if it doesn't work out with him, we will at least get some money if we were to have to sell him. Another player renewal I wanted to speak to you about is Saliba. So his contract's only got 2 years left. We want him back. It seems like he is coming back, but it's a bit of a tricky situation because if he doesn't sign a contract renewal now, there's a chance that next season there'll only be 1 year left on his contract. We won't get so much money for him if we were to try to sell him then. He could also potentially run down his contract because after next season, there'll only be 1 year left. He could just hold on to the year after and would get nothing at all for him. So ideally, we'd get him to sign a contract renewal now, but from his point of view, it's difficult as well because he's looking at, is he going to get into the team? We saw how strong Gabriel and Ben White were for us last season. So like Arteta's got this situation with him now of how he's going to handle that. We know there's been some issues between them as well in the past as well. So a bit of a tricky one. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the William Saliba situation?
I think he first has to get the assurance from the manager that he's valued at the club, because he was signed from Saint-Étienne, and then we were always thinking that he's gonna get straight back in, or at least after a season that he was sent on loan. So from 2020 onwards, we were all expecting him to be integrated into a team, but it didn't happen. Arteta didn't think that he was good enough. Arteta didn't think that he is at that level to start for Arsenal week in, week out. So he sent him on loan, and then he sent him on loan again last season. So yeah, I won't say that he is too happy about his situations, but this is a real chance for him now. The opportunity now beckons for William Saliba to come and show that what he is all about. He also said that he belongs to Arsenal, and he wants to prove that what his qualities are. We have seen him doing well. He has make no mistake, he's a France international now. He's played some crucial games for them, and although I did follow some of those games of France's games in the Nations League, he didn't do that bad. He was quite good actually. So it is quite important that we tie him down, because if we don't tie him down this season, the next season there will be speculations that he will be leaving at the end of next season for free and all these things, and more pressure piles on. So, but for that, he has to have a positive start this season. If he comes back in, if he plays regularly, because I do believe Ben White at certain times has been a bit vulnerable. So Saliba, if he cements his position as a first choice centre back, then then things are going to be easy for him to commit for a further 3, 4, whatever years that he wants to stay at the club and whatever contract is offered. So I think it's tricky, but for the very first time, for the most important thing is that he has to start, and he has to adapt first and get things going for him for the first 6, 7 months maybe till, and then if it's all right, all going well till Christmas, and then maybe they're gonna be thinking of a renewal there. But yeah, definitely very happy that Saliba is coming back, because I've told numerous times that we can't miss that player, because he's a terrific player. He's young, he's strong, he is very good, to be honest, and we don't want things to happen like what happened with Gunduzi yet again, because yeah, I know Arsenal fans are a bit, they don't rate Guendouzi highly, but I do rate Guendouzi highly, and I do believe that he's going to be a top-notch player. And I think the same about Saliba as well. So very happy that Saliba has been integrated so far. this season, and yeah, hope things goes well because we need a player like Saliba. I think he's going to be instrumental for us in the future.
Okay, another big contract renewal we're hoping to get done now in this summer is Saka. So we know a lot of things that are put out in the media. We know it's like this time of the year. Agents play a big part in it as well. A lot of things are put out there that you can't really believe. But there is a lot of speculation that Manchester City, Real Madrid, Liverpool are really interested in Saka and could bid for him this summer. So we don't know how true that is. There's also speculation that if Saka is to sign a renewal, he wants some sort of clause in there that after maybe 2-3 years, if we're not in the Champions League, it allows him to leave. Again, we've not heard that from him, so it's just speculation. Hopefully, he will sign a contract renewal. I'm confident he will. We know how much he loves the club. And if he does want to put a clause in there, then you can say fair enough because it's down to us to match his ambition as well. A player like him, he wants to be playing elite level. So if after 3 years we're not in the Champions League, then that's our fault for not matching his ambitions. I mean, you can understand that him as a player maybe wanting to move on to a team like Real Madrid. But yeah, I'm confident he will sign a contract renewal. What about yourself?
I am very confident that he is going to sign. He's going to come in his future to Arsenal because he's an Arsenal through and through. It's not that the cases of like Nazari's and Van Persie's and all. He's an Arsenal boy. He has been growing up in that environment, and he knows the club, you know, left, right, and center. So it will be a no-brainer for him to sign a contract. But yeah, I know I can understand his ambitions. He wants to play in the Champions League, but let him play in the Champions League for us. We have to do that in the next maybe this season. If we can do that, it will make things easy yet again because we do have abundant of talents. You know, we have the likes of Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, and name many young players like Flores, Aziz were coming through. So we do have a great foundation of young players, and if we can really build on that, and if we bank on them that they're gonna take us to the next step, it's not gonna happen. So that's why we need better signing, better seniors. We're gonna take us to the Champions League, and then these youngsters can flourish around them. So yeah, I think if it is that Saka wants to leave us for Real Madrid to play in the Champions League, we can't blame him because that's his ambition, and every player wants to play at the highest level. So we'll have to get that. But Saka, I personally believe that he's gonna sign. I think whenever the contract is there for him to renew, I think he's not gonna refuse. Definitely, you can understand a player's thought process because you don't want to play in the Conference League or Europa League for your life, especially when you have the talent like Saka has. So it's completely understandable, but I think most of the rumors of whatever you think it's mainly bogus because English media, they do love to spread this kind of rumors, this kind of out of sorts news, to rattle clubs and all. So I'm not giving so much a lot into that, but and I'm confident that Saka is gonna sign.
Okay, another one that we're hoping to tie down to a long-term deal. There's not been so much rumours and speculations about other team after him. A little bit about Liverpool. Klopp did say, remember the name Martinelli. He's a big fan of his, but hopefully we can tie him down to a long-term deal as well. Are you confident he will sign a long-term contract extension?
I think so because Klopp is. I don't like this about Klopp. He, I that is a clear that is a clear message to Martinelli that yeah I want you, but I don't really appreciate this kind of things that what he's been doing because although it's mainly a very benign thing that he just really appreciated the player as he thinks so, but the media hypes it up and all the rumors and all the tensions around that happens for the fans like I don't think that managers they just should be a bit contained about praising about other players until and unless he's completely his player or something like that. So I don't want to give too much into that as well because Martinelli, as we can see, that he has been establishing himself at Arsenal, slowly and steadily. And I think if the if the offer is there, he's gonna sign as well. So I don't think there has to be so much concern regarding both Martinelli's and Saka's future. But yeah, there should be concern if we don't qualify for the Champions League yet again this season, because I've been telling you that last season was very crucial, but we missed it. But still, we are lucky enough that we do still have all these players tied down at a decent stage at this moment. But if we keep on failing to qualify for the Champions League in the next couple of seasons, then things are gonna get tight, and then there will be a lot of vulnerability, because there will be a lot of a lot of people lurking around those players, and then we can see some of them departing us. So, and if we don't, and we all don't want that, so we'll have to secure the top for this season for sure. And so far, again, I'll have to give credit to the club. So far, the intent is something that I like. I haven't seen that intent for a long time. It was non-existent when Arsene Wenger used to, during his final years, in a season. I do remember in the 2015-16 season, we just signed Peter Cech. We didn't sign anybody. So it's good to see that we are being linked, and we are being genuinely linked, because it's not just out of the blue or someone who just writes the piece that, yeah, it's not linked with that. Some reputed and trustable journalists and outlets that are claiming that we are interested in signing, and we are intending to, be, to go that much to get the players. So it's a good sign, and I'm very happy with that.
All right, so let's get into the transfer speculation, the players that we've been linked with, who you would ideally like us to bring in. So start with the striker situation. We know that is the priority. Such a big issue we've had. We saw last season, Aubameyang left, Lacazette's left now. All right, and Nketiah is now confirmed as tied down to a long-term contract, so we know he's going to be here next season. But we still need at least one striker, if not two. So we've been linked with many players, the likes of Gabriel Jesus, Carlson, some players around Europe as well. Osimhen from Napoli, Martinez as well as another one. So what's your opinion on the transfer rumours? Who do you think we're going to go get, and who would you like us to go get?
I'll be personally wanting Victor Osimhen, that's for sure. But it looks like that Napoli want amount of money that we are not going to pay, because they value him around 80-90 million. I don't think we're going to pay that much for Osimhen, and I think Gabriel Jesus, as widely it's been reported, he's a prime target. And let me tell you, he's a decent striker. His numbers are not that good at Manchester City, but the brand of football that Arteta plays, I think he's gonna be a useful player for us if we sign him. And I think the amount of money that City are at this moment they're asking is 50 million. I just saw a bit earlier that we have offered a 42.5 million bid. I don't know whether it's confirmed or whether it's a genuine news or that. But if we keep on, if we are really into Gabriel Jesus, we are gonna get him. That's for sure. If we really want Gabriel Jesus, we are gonna get him. And apart from that, if we need another striker as well, because I really can't trust Nketiah if Jesus gets injured or something like that. So we need another striker. I don't know who is that gonna be. We're hearing many names, and also remember we have signed another youngster as well in Marquinhos from Brazil. I don't know whether it's a young winger or is a striker. I think he can play a striker as well. So yeah, with the likes of Jesus and with the names that we are hearing, because Lautaro Martinez, let's face it, we are not going to get him. I don't think Lautaro Martinez is coming to Arsenal, and so I think Gabriel Jesus is at the moment the realistic target, and I think we're going to get him. And I'll be happy with him. I'll be happy if we get Jesus, but I will want another player as well. So let's see what happens.
Hopefully, we can get two strikers in. That'd be great. Let's look at the midfield now. So, as I was saying when we started the show, there's a lot of news saying that we have signed Vieira from Porto. It's not been announced by the club yet. So, always at this time of season, you're a bit worried until you actually see it announced from the club and it's all official. You can never say it's actually done. We've seen in the past many times that last minute deals get taken away, things happen, So until it's actually signed and sealed, we can't say that it's done. but it's looking very likely. And don't know much about this player. I've heard that he's had 14 assists last season, 6 goals. He's young. It's only 40 million euros for release clause, so it's not too much money as well. What's your thoughts on the player? Do you know much about him? Are you happy with the transfer?
Yeah, I'm very elated. I'm elated because I was watching Porto last season in some of their Premier League, Portuguese league games, and I really liked him because initially you see he's very lightweight. He's not the strongest of the players, but the kind of the quality that he possesses is outstanding. He's a super player, and I'm very very happy because I wasn't expecting us to go for him, and suddenly out of nowhere we signed Vieira, and I was like, wow, because none of the outlets, none of the journalists knew about it. There were no new rumors, no links. Suddenly someone is saying that yeah, Arsenal are going to wrap him, going to get him. So I'm very happy because he's more of a number 10 than number 8. You can use him as number 8 as well. He's Let me tell you, he has played as a defender, as a wing back as well last season for Porto. So he's a versatile player. He's very young. He's a versatile player, and I think it's a fantastic addition for us. I'm very very happy that we have signed Vieira because he's a top talent, my friend. He is a good player. So yeah, with the likes of Vieira, I'm very happy. And also there are rumors that there there are news that we are in for Tielemans as well. Although we have got Vieira, we still want Tielemans, which is another good thing because Tielemans at the left hand, in the center of midfield in the left hand side is another good player as well. So I think if we get both Vieira and Tielemans, but let's face it that Vieira is done. I'm quite sure that Vieira is done. It's only a matter of time that we announce it officially. So along with Vieira, if we sign Tielemans as well, then we are going to have 4 terrific players, for decent midfielders at our club, along with the likes of Partey, Xhaka, Vieira, and Tielemans, and I think along with El Neni as well. Don't forget him. So I think that's going to be superb for us because then what this will do is that it's going to put pressure on the likes of Partey and Xhaka, who's been a regular starter for Arsenal, because then no one has their place secured. It's going to enhance the competition in the squad, and it's going to enhance the quality. So I am very happy that we have got Vieira, and I'll be elated if we get Tielemans as well because I think it's going to be the perfect window for us if we get Tielemans along with Vieira because Xhaka, let's face it, he's now 28, 29, and he's gonna be in the next couple of years. I think I don't see him playing for more than a couple of years at Arsenal. So then we are gonna be having two great players, like two decent players, like actually I shouldn't be saying great, two potentially great players like Vieira and Tielemans will be very very helpful for us. So yeah, I'm very happy with Vieira, and
Okay.
also and and also if you remember, I watched him for the Euro under 21 last season as well. It was in some glimpses he was superb, and he was actually adjudged as the player of the tournament in the Euro. So you can see the
Yeah,
quality of the
hopefully.
players there. But yeah, we'll have to remember that in the 2017, I think yeah, it was 2017 or 18, there was also another player who was adjudged as the Euro 21 player of the season, has played for us for 2 seasons, Dani Ceballos, and he didn't do that much. So I hope that it doesn't turn out like him, and I hope that I believe that Vieira is gonna be it's gonna be a decent signing for us.
Yeah, let's hope so. And the point you're making about, increasing the competition within the team, and we see with the likes of Man City and Liverpool, their squads are so strong. Each position they have two very good players, So when they have to make changes, the players that come in, they're able to rotate and they don't lose anything in quality and performance. And hopefully, Arteta and is trying to build back the model where there's a lot of competition for places. Each player knows that there's another player that can come in and do just as good a job. So he's got to always be on his game. And that's what ideally we can get to. 2 players for each position. So looking at the defense now, hopefully, like we say, Saliba's coming back. So that's our centre defence secure with him, Gabriel, Ben White, Rob Holding. The fullbacks has been a bit of an issue in terms of backup options. So we saw Travis struggling a lot last season. Cedric came in, done okay, you could say, but still at the same time, he's not at the required level that we would want long term. So we linked strongly with Hickey, who is a young Scottish player. So if he was to come in, it'll be a good link up with him and Teeny, learning of Teeny, hopefully able to fill in if Teeny's injured, or also they say he can play both sides, left and right. So if Tomiyasu's injured, we know that last season we had a lot of issues with injuries for Tomiyasu and for Teeny. So having that option to come in as a backup would be great. Have you heard much about Hickey? Your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I've heard about Hickey as well because I saw him again, in the Serie A for Bologna because he was decent. He was going forward is good, also defensively is good, but you have to compare that it's the Serie A and this is the Premier League. Although Serie A is good, no disrespect to Serie A. It's a decent competition as well, but Premier League is a complete different curry. So I think I am not convinced that he is going to be that good for us instantly. He's a very young player as well, just 21, 22 years of age, and he's going to take time. I'll be much more happier if we sign Zinchenko because we have been linked with Zinchenko as well. That guy is another versatile player as well, and he knows Arteta, and Arteta knows him a lot better than Arteta knows Ziki because he has worked with Zinchenko during his City time. So I won't be. I will be actually more happy if we go for Zinchenko rather than Hickey. But yeah, we do have some decent options because at the left back we don't have a lot, but at the other positions, if we get our targets so far, if we the players so far we have targeted, if we get all of them, I think we're going to be building a strong team, as you exactly said. Two players at each positions and who don't have a lot of quality differences as well. So the bar of the competition remains high. So I think it's very exciting for us, and it's very some crucial weeks ahead. And if we get things done properly, then we are going to be at a very strong position just before the start of the season. But if you tell me about the left back situation, I'll be more happy with Zinchenko rather than Hickey.
Okay. Yeah, Shevchenko would be a great signing for us as well. He can play centre midfield and he's been playing really well in that position for Ukraine. So that'd be a really good option. As you said, knows Arteta well. So yeah, there's some good options out there. As you said, it's key. We want to start the season well. So we want to get these players in early, get them integrated into the team. Going on the pre-season tour, we don't want to leave it towards the end of the transfer window. The season starts earlier this season as well. The fixture list was released, so just going to talk to you about that quickly. We're starting first game of the season again on the Friday night. Last season it was Brentford away. We really struggled. I know we had some issues with COVID with Aubameyang and Lacazette missing that game, but we just didn't turn up for that one. We cannot do the same. We've got another hard game. You would say Brentford's that hard a game, but it turned out to be really difficult. It was their first game in the Premier League. They were really up for it. We weren't 100% on it, and we ended up losing. This game we got coming up, Crystal Palace, we know how good they are. They're an established Premier League team. We just played them a couple of months ago, got destroyed 3-0 in that one. They got our old boy there, Patrick Vieira, very good manager. And we know what the atmosphere is like at Selhurst Park as well. It's going to be a really hard game, first game of the season. Apart from that game, though, after that, I'd say our first few games are not too bad. Like last season, we had second game Chelsea at home, third game Man City away. So that was a very opening. But this time around, it's not so tough. Second game's Leicester at home. So I'm happy with the fixtures. But yeah, what's your thoughts on our opening to the season and the fixtures in general?
Yeah, actually, we have been decent starters if you see the history because we have done decently on the opening day of the season or on our very first game. The last season, what happened, it was a combination of poor performance and poor luck. We were missing so many players, and then again, a Brentford team were very much uplifted after their return to the Premier League. So yeah, massacre happened there. this season, I think they're gonna be they should be learning from the mistakes that they made last season. They shouldn't be allowing Crystal Palace, any chances, and they should try to silence the crowd, because the crowd plays a huge part at Sellers Park. So I think if you tell me exactly, I'm very happy as well, because we have got a decent start with decent set of fixtures at the early half of the season, because I think our sixth or seventh game is this United away. I think before that we don't play any so-called top six teams. So I'm happy with that. I'm gonna take that, but we'll have to remember that we do the right things, because it's Crystal Palace, and if we make the same mistakes that we made at Brentford, then it just lowers the morale down, and it just takes us back to the same point, and then we all complaining, moaning about all the things, and things can get sour very quickly. So I think it's up to the players as well, and one of the things that confident. I'm pretty confident that we are going to be starting at the right direction because of our transfer approach. Because year we were signing some players, we were signing two, three players. I think signed like Odegaard, White, but still this season our intent in the transfer market and the quality, the type of players, the names that we have been linked with are a lot better compared to last season. And I think Arteta, there's a clear indication that Arteta wants to, set his team, set his squad before the season starts. Because if we get the likes of Jesus, Tielemans, along with Vieira, and perhaps maybe these three, along with Saliba and Turner coming in, I think then we have five new players before the start of the season. So in that perspective, I think it's a decent. I'm optimistic that the way the way our approach has been to the transfer window. But yeah, again, if you tell me about the fixtures and all these things, it's all a bit, it's all very relative, isn't it? If we win, if we go into a decent run, it's okay. It's everyone is happy. But if we can make the same old mistakes, then we are all gonna be sad and dissecting this and that. But so far, the approach to the new season from our club, from our manager, is spot on.
Yeah, really important transfer window. And as we said, let's act early, get in the players we need, and start the season on the front foot. Really vital. We start well. Difficult first game, but we can win that one. That's going to give us a lot of confidence. I mean, as I was saying, the second game, Leicester at home, third game's Bournemouth away. So it's not like last season where we had really difficult games of Chelsea and Man City. So also the Bournemouth one's good because it's 20th of August that weekend there. It's still summertime here. Bournemouth's down on the coast, so beach side, nice to have a trip down there in summer. So yeah, I was happy with the fixture list. 1st October is another big one. You always look out for when we're playing Tottenham. We've got to get our revenge after that last game. So exciting times. Not too long, before it's going to be pre-season training camp starting. The pre-season games will be starting, and then the season starts earlier this season, 5th of August. So not long to go at all now. Really exciting. Okay, so just to finish with on this week's show, I want to ask you, what is your minimum expectation for next season?
My expectations are very high, because I was expectations were high last season as well. Then it just kind of marred at the flag game. But I expect at least top four this season. Top four has to be this season, because the quality that if we manage to get the players that we want to sign, then top four definitely there is a massive chance that we get top four, because the additions, if we get the likes of Jesus, Chilemans, Lisandro as well, Lisandro Martinez, a centre back from Ajax, I think it's gonna be big, and I think it should be enough for us to get top four if we get all the signings. But yeah, nothing is certain in life, so but still, I'm very confident, and I'm very hopeful that we are gonna get top four. But it all depends on the way we start this season and way we just continue it, because remember that we do have the World Cup mid-season as well, which is strange, which is abysmal. I don't like it at all, but you have to accept that if someone goes there and just does something back to himself, and then all the things that can change very rapidly. So I think it's going to be a very unpredictable season, my friend, because I really see things, getting south very quickly for certain teams. There will be a lot of ups and downs. There will be a lot of topsy-turvy moments in the season, because especially with the World Cup, the players, the clubs that will be, whose players will be in the World Cup, because it takes a huge toll on the players, and it will take a huge toll on clubs as well if things doesn't get right there.
Yeah, it's going to be a different season. Like, it's the first time this has ever happened where right in the middle, you'd say November. So it's kind of in the middle of a season where the players will go away, play a World Cup. We know how big a tournament, how important a tournament that is. And then for the players that go deep in that tournament as well, when they come back, you'll be straight into the busy Christmas period here, where we know there's a lot of games in a short space of time. So, squad depth is going to be really important. As I said, it's going to feel strange to have a break in the Premier League season like this. But it is what it is, as you say. We've got to get on with it. Another thing as well this season as well, the 5 substitute rule. So that's going to play a part as well. It's going to be really important to have that squad depth. For us as well, we know we're playing Europa League, Thursday, Sunday combination as well. Short turnaround there. So there's a lot of elements to this season, and we need to be prepared. And I hope we do add a good amount of players to the squad, and let's hope we have a very successful season. So you're saying top 4 is a minimum expectation. What about trophy wise? Would you say just top 4 is enough without any of the trophies, or?
Of course, Europa League, it should be coming home this time. It has to come home. We have been into the semi-finals twice. We have been beaten in the final. Then there should be, this season should be the Europa League, and maybe go for FA Cup or Carabao Cup, one of that, and Europa League. And if we get top 4 along with it, because winning Europa League means that you are just qualifying for Champions League next season. So there's is done there. But if, in addition to that, if we get top 4 and win the Europa League and get either of FA Cup and Carabao Cup, then it's gonna be regarded as a decent season for us. So yeah, but who knows? We may gonna win the league.
You
Who
never
knows, my
know.
friend? You
You
never
never
know,
know.
man.
You gotta have that hope. We
You,
saw it. Leicester done it not long ago.
Arsenal winning the league and Eddie Nketiah getting the Golden Boot with 25 plus goals. That's gonna be that's gonna be a nice thing, huh?
If that's the case, it's worth every penny of 100,000 a week we're paying him. Yeah, it's worth every single penny.
Yeah.
Like, if we could do that, but yeah, let's see. It's new season. Start with hope. Got to be optimistic. I think it's been a bit too optimistic for a title push this season. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, but if we can at least be up there, challenging, maybe not throughout the whole season, but if we're up there early doors, up there with the likes of Man City and Liverpool, then it's going to be more comfortable for us to get in the top 4, because we're already up there, challenging the teams that are normally at the top of the league, Man City, Liverpool. So then it shouldn't be so difficult to get top 4. If we're there third comfortably and then end up finishing third or fourth comfortably, it'll be a lot better than, you're there fourth, fifth, sixth, battling right until the end. And then, as we saw last season, ended up missing out at the end. So let's hope we can comfortably get in the top 4, have a little bit of a title push maybe, but, see how that goes. But most importantly, minimum for me, top 4, as you're saying, that is the absolute minimal requirement for next season. That is something that, it's over a long period of time in the league. So it's down to your performances, how consistent you are. Whereas in the cup competitions, you can just have a bad day or just a silly sending off and you end up getting knocked out, So yeah, looking forward to next season, bro.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm very optimistic and as well, because I'm looking forward to the next season, because And it's a massive season. I've been telling that for a long time. I was repeatedly telling that last season was a massive season. But I think this is a much more important season than it was last season, because if we miss out top four this season, then there are going to be some real ramifications that we are not going to like, because then you'll be seeing a lot more rumors, a lot more speculations about the top players leaving our club, and it may turn out to be a reality then coming next season at this very time. So I think it's very important that we get top four this season, and even if we just don't have to win the league, there's certainly that we are not going to win the league unless it's a massive fluke or something like that. But challenging for the title at least till January or till Christmas, or be around that position, like 4 or 5 points behind, or rather 7, 8, 10 points behind the leaders. It will be quite acceptable thing, I do believe. And top four for sure, it is the one that we want this for this season.
Yeah, bro. Let's hope we get this transfer business done and start off next season on fire. So that's all from us. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate, man.
Always a pleasure to have you on. Thanks everyone for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.